I think it's safe to say that Sith Lords are cranky bastards. This is not an accident, it is by design, for they view their rage and terror and even despair as a power source. And it does produce great power, but at a terrible price. I don't want to be a Sith Lord. I want to be like Qui-Gon Jinn, and I'm pretty sure you do too, if you're showing up here on a Saturday night and are looking at my silly face. If one is to really marinate in the 81 poems of the Tao Te Ching, one begins to notice patterns. One notices that there is a price to yang. When we marinate in rigidity and fear and controlling tendencies, when we are elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel, we become a version of a Sith Lord. No, we're not able to do these flippy, floppy acrobatics with glowy swords. But we do stomp and snort and act petulant, and we often get our way, and being a cranky Sith guy can get you many places, except for the place of peace, except for the place of true fulfillment. For that, you have to traverse a different path, the path of yin, the path of being flexible, loving, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. So I've thrown 14 nouns at you. Let's make it simpler. Concentration is all about indulging our rigidity and our controlling tendencies. You do that enough, and you're going to trigger the bit of tissue at the base of your brain, or at the bottom of your brain, or at the underbelly of your brain, that as big kids call the amygdala. It's the seat of both fear and aggression. The more rigid we are, the more controlling we are, the more focused we are, the more concentrated we are, the more we're going to be snippy and snappy. Have you ever noticed that when you're under pressure and you're really concentrating on a problem or a task and someone bothers you, you don't have the bandwidth to be civil and kind and interested in them, and more often than not, you either ignore them or you snarl at them like a injured cur? That is concentration. But we don't have to be rigid and controlling. Instead, we can be flexible and laid back. One of the benefits of a healthy meditation practice is that instead of this area being lit up, it is this area that is lit up. The anterior cingulate gyrus, the metaphoric hub of our mirror neurons, our seat of empathy. The more we trade in, we replace rigidity with flexibility, the more we replace our controlling tendencies with being laid back, the more loving we're going to be, the more fluid we're going to be, the more able to go with the flow we're going to be. So this isn't backwards. We're not able to meditate because all of a sudden we're flexible and we go with the flow. Au contraire, it's the other way around. When we have a healthy meditation practice, then being flexible and being laid back occurs spontaneously. For further insights on the subject of meditation, I think it could be quite beneficial if together as a team, we chanted the Saturday evening excerpt of the Song of Enlightenment, written more than 1,000 years ago by Gyatso, translated by Red Pine, adapted and amplified by this fool right here. Allow me to remind you that if any point at all during the remainder of tonight's live stream, you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or their application, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. So if you are using a laptop or a desktop, then that window will be on the right. And if you are using your smartphone, that chat window will be right down here. So don't be surprised if certain passages feel opaque. When that happens, be specific, type your question, and I'll be delighted to answer it for you as best I can. Together. I learned a lot when I was young. I read sutras and shastras and studied commentaries. The names and terms never seemed to end. Like counting sand in the sea, it was such a waste of effort. The path of yang. Majors and minors, confusing rote and trivia with wisdom and enlightenment. Together. Scolded by the Tathagata, what good is counting others' treasures? Tathagata, or thus come one, is one of the many nicknames for the Buddha. I realized all my efforts had been in vain, all the years I had wasted braving dust and wind. When the time is ripe, we cease to search for our teacher and instead search for what our teacher sought. That which is revealed by making a habit of vulnerably sitting, noticing and releasing no less than once every 12 hours. Together. Misguided from the start, my understanding wrong. I did not know how the Buddha's sudden teaching worked. Why devotees of lesser paths did not see the way. Why unbelievers may be smart but not wise. A careful examination of our own foibles makes it easier to give others a little slack. I should say, cut others a little slack. What do you think? Together. They are so foolish, so stupid, pointing to their palm to explain what is real. Mistaking a finger for the moon, turning objects of the senses into ghost stories. Communication can be imprecise, confusing figurative statements for literal ones, and overemphasizing letting go to the point of nihilism. Okay, I don't see any questions at the moment. So I look forward to actually meditating with you, which we will do and after less than 1 minute of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. I've spent more than half of my life studying, practicing, and then reverse engineering the teachings and practices of each sect of Buddhism so that you can easily and quickly become the person that your dog already thinks you are. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible by the generosity of viewers just like you. Tonight's practice text is Easy Proto Zen. We're going to begin with a concise chant of the recitation of empathetic bodhicitta as well as enthusiastic refuge. We're going to begin with a more literal recitation using the triplet chant. What's the phrase I usually use? Together. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging by relying on thee. Buddha's example, instructions, and students. So useful are these three that they are known metaphorically as the three wish-fulfilling jewels, kind of like Aladdin's lamp. So now let's use a more metaphoric and concise chant that uses the bookend chant. Together. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. Okay, let us briefly review the basic meditation instructions. Mindfulness and meditation are known by many names, such as Zen, Proto-Zen, Chan, Dhyana, Mahamudra, Mahasati, Ati Yoga, Dzogchen, and even Treksho. And despite the fanciness of these words, the practice is very easy. Let's begin with mindfulness. Every time we inhale, we automatically access our sympathetic nervous system, which is not wired for active concentration, but instead is wired to merely perceive, and to do so vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. During each inhalation, we are wired to effortlessly notice sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like. We are wired to notice emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, imaginings, and even confabulations. That's a lot of stuff. What do we do with this stuff? Well, we meditate upon it. And how does that work? During each exhalation, whether we know it or not, we are wired to effortlessly access our parasympathetic nervous system, which is wired for both physical relaxation as well as mental release. Okay, so now we know that mindfulness correlates to our inhalation and meditation correlates to our exhalation. Now, how do we put it into practice? Here's the easiest way. During each inhalation, as you sit back and enjoy whatever pops up like a great maniacal jack-in-the-box, we could silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this, or its three-syllable iteration, notice this, or its big, old, honkin' 12-syllable iteration, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. Similarly, the most efficient way to practice meditation during each exhalation is to silently and mentally recite either A, the one-syllable verb ease, or B, the three-syllable word relaxing, or C, the 12-syllable phrase relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. So here's the deal. It's not our job to believe that mind is non-graspable or prove that it's non-graspable. We treat non-graspable, the phrase non-graspable, we treat the word emptiness or the word voidness as a metaphor to describe the natural sensations we physically experience every time we physically relax in harmony with our exhalation. And so doing so, we notice that as we relax into our exhalation, that which we perceived during our inhalation could now feel as if it was as non-graspable as a vast empty void. It could feel as if it was as non-graspable as the illusion of the infinite azure sky in beautiful winter's morn, which, although could be tantalizing to the eye, is most certainly non-graspable to the fingers. Together as a team, I think it could be great fun if we meditated as transformatively as General Leia Organa on Ajahn class under the guidance of Luke Skywalker. Together as a team, let's meditate right now. Let's begin with the 12-syllable exercise, the great lumbering behemoth of an exercise. I'm very grateful to Gutandap, who taught me to notice the play of mind, and to Chagadud Tulku, who taught me to relax into mind's non-graspable nature. So I check for questions once every 8 or 9 minutes. If it seems like a short eternity between you clicking the send button and me responding to your question, please do not take it personally. Let us now switch gears from the 12-syllable exercise to the 3-syllable exercise. Let's switch gears from the 3-syllable exercise to its 1-syllable counterpart. Let us seal this evening's meditation with a bit of the old chanting. Beginning with kind ethics and concluding with the four immeasurables. May all beings practice of kind communication, conduct, and calmness for the spontaneous and uncontrived. May everyone be free from misery. May everyone be happy. May no one be separated from the happiness. May everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging, freed. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support it on Patreon. In approximately 11 3/4 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's morning meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, this is the way.